a sort of triggering of ideas, providing some sensitization of things in connection with ICT integration with our education system. It's a great thing, sir. Yes, this is really happened. We received excellent motivation from our resource persons. All the resource persons are excellent. They share. Give only one example. I have been given some a few minutes only. Hence, here PM Vidya Samisha Kendra, one student, one identity, APAR identity. By that, I came to know from the people, officials in that area, the the entire life of the student from the pre-primary to completion of their course will be retrieved and it will be monitored, it will be cared by our central government and state government. We are going to give excellent, that means foundation, excellent education to our students in our entire country. Every child will be monitored. His health will be monitored. His capacities will be monitored. His strengths, weaknesses, what are the needs will be analyzed in one place. This is the greatness of our ICT integration, ICT power. I can't say more than that. Uh, Along with this, I would like to share one or two very important activities that are
So
being
you have to
taken place.
keep it short so that we can listen to more
Sure,
people.
madam.
Okay?
Madam, I feel great pleasure. Within few minutes, I come.
Only 2 minutes for sharing.
Yes,
It's
yes,
already
I
two
know the
minutes is done.
importance of time because, madam, I don't get this opportunity in my life.
Please, sir, go on.
This here, I would like to state about our Telangana sir, international hub for our IT. Hence, by keeping in view our principal secretary, she clearly stated the posts that which are there now may not be there in future because of artificial intelligence in entire world. By keeping this in view, you come to our schools, more than 50 strength students are with computers. In all schools, all primary schools, more than 50 strength are provided with a computer based AI assisted learning is being taken place. Our small students, third class students, they open computer and they learn on themselves by using one app called AXL app. And one other thing that is there in our state is ICT syllabus from class primary school to class 1 to 10. Each class there is one ICT syllabus in our schools. That is the initiative of our Telangana. We are very proud to disseminate this to all of you dignitaries here from entire country. And finally, the very important thing, our diet. Our diet is recognized as center of excellence with 100 computers. Like this, we are going to organize excellent programs, and this exposure really very much helpful me to implement various things that I learned here. Definitely, this will be useful to each and every student in entire district, even remote control district. By this, sir, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity once again to Manjira madam for providing the excellent exposures and all those things and NCRT people, SCRT people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate everyone's excitement, but only one thing, keeping in time, we will restrict ourselves to 1 to 2 minutes maximum to tell about our own feedback about only this program. Because this is one thread I have when state people are called, you have that expression of telling what you are doing, but I will stop you if you are going into it because this is a time for us to reflect on our workshop and the training. Okay.
Respected Dr. Angel ma'am and her active and energetic team and dearest co-workers. Very good morning, all of you. Yesterday reflection was like this. Dr. Karim's aware of very important and very sensitive topics, cyber safety and security. He gave many examples in which many things are there. The new one is for me, that is DPDP Act. This is new for me, and I went through this yesterday. Many things I came to know. Next, Dr. Ahuja, the energetic lady lecturer, we witnessed yesterday's her energy level. Only 45 minutes she did introduction. After that, she so very slides and she uh, encouraged us to go grassroots level, understand the child's needs. It's a very important lecture there was. And the third one is name for me, that is diet excellent. The ma'am told us about do's or don'ts and various guidelines while diet excellent is constructing. These are the new things for me. And thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to share? The moment we restrict, people stop. Anybody want to share? Somebody's hand is coming here. What should I understand? Whether this is want to share or you are doing some other action? So feel free. This is not for an official record or something. Just a feedback for ourselves about the program, because it in the valedictory becomes very official to listen, to tell to the people who are coming for valedictory. But it's always valid. Feedback is not positive to be shared. It can be something for improvement also. If anything is there, you feel free to share. Shivam, you can get the presentation. Okay, so we are just starting our fifth day session. So there is a little change for the group 5 and 6. Group 5 have to write your newsletter for only one session now in 2 pages. Okay, group 5. So first session you will be writing the report. Like for the newsletter, your newsletter will be only 2 pages because it's a short duration. Group 6 will be writing for the next session. So that by lunch we close it. Last time already said. So now we are going to listen about one of the topic on AI in education. So NCRT has established the AI cell, because now there are a lot of things to work on AI. So XYZ, if we start working, there won't be consolidated thing. So NCRT has an AI cell, and the coordinator for AI cell is Dr. Rajesh, and he is associate professor in Department of ICT and Training Division. This is also one of the things that every state now have started working AI, and it would be good if you also create a cell in your state at SCRT level, at least as with the person who will be taking the lead and having a group of people who can support, then all our works related to AI will be in a proper manner, so that like no there it will not be in a haphazard manner or it is not a standalone program. So in NCRT, this is a structure that has been newly created in this academic year for aligning all the AI related works. It's not just only academic AI training, it's about technically any tool, AI tool to be integrated into platforms. Everything comes under one wing. So it has a kind of impact. So this is also one of the things which we would like to propose to all the states, that you can start such a cell in your thing. So with this note, I welcome Dr. Rajesh and hand over the session to him.
Yeah, very good morning. I hope that this was the last day for you. So, energetically planning to leave, get escape from angels hand holding. So we need to have something, some rigidity should be there. We all, instead of being dependent upon human resources, we are all dependent upon these technologies which is growing up. Whether you like it or you don't like it, we are all forced to use these disruptive technologies. But still, as far as the way that we have crossed upon and we are facing, especially the school teachers who are there facing the children every day in the classroom, they find the pain behind it. Because every day some new tool is being launched and the child is using it where the parents are not aware of it. And even some of the teachers' mobile phone are also being used with some of the children in the classroom where sensitive information of the teacher goes out. So there are plenty of parameters if you want to discuss, so we can discuss about this. But since I was informed that the audience is from the diet and the SCRT focus, so as NCRT has a plenty number of responsibilities in the shoulders, similarly SCRTs and diets do carry the same pain in the shoulder because it is too horrible and too nurturing for us to get updated first every weekend. Number two, we should also share the responsibility of using the ethical way of handling these technologies to the teachers specifically, because today the highly sensible information holder throughout the school ecosystem is the teacher. Most of the states are collecting plenty number of data through the teachers. Teachers are not only teaching the classroom, teachers are collecting data from the school, from the children, from the infrastructure background. So what will happen really if the teacher is using AI? AI is so intelligent. AI has been coded into a intelligent system where when you start using AI in your mobile phone, it means that you have given the freedom for the AI to study about you. So we have maybe you are all also somewhat experts in AI. The sensitiveness behind conducting plenty number of workshops along with the corporates, because we have also had some of the corporate based trainings to the school students and the teachers, where we again emphasize them to handle sessions based on three parameters. One is we should teach them the coding phase, because we are in the phase of using ease of use. Everything is ready there. Only select some of the models, put it into it. Whatever you are happy, you are happy. That phase is out of the concept of pedagogy. Whatever you are taught from the children from the Baluatika, then you are using FLL, Jadupitara, and then coming into the secondary or middle stage, or then you go to the senior secondary stage in the classroom teaching. It's entirely getting vanished. Recently, I think last 3 days back, there was some information like Andhra Pradesh chief minister was talking to a child who was called as a AI expert. So when he was asking how do you use AI, he said that I use this AI for many things. So I become some of the experts in AI. So then simply he asked him, then can you tell me what is 5 plus 8? He immediately started working on AI. Then everybody was laughing and saying that where is your pedagogy? He called the teacher who was promoting the child. ये अच्छा बच्चा है, इसका इतना अच्छा दिमाग है. Then he called the teacher and asked, what is this? Where is your pedagogy? Then the teacher started saying that now the technology has overtaken the teachers. The children are dominating in the classroom. So which is so sensitive. So as a representative of diet, as a representative of SCRT, as a representative of NCRT, we have to now take this as one model so that we have to preach them. AI is only a tool. AI should be used after a level. AI is not directly like you go and select the tool and start using it. AI can be used for images. AI can be used for videography. And AI should also be used for content only by the teachers and teacher educators. It is not meant for the children. But we cannot stop the children. But what we can do, we have to train our own LLMs, which is our own brain, such that if you get an assignment from a child, you should be first able to identify whether this belongs to his age or not. We are not able to do it. One simple I can sample I can explain you, like when you read a document, normal English document or Hindi document or any language document, you have some of the words called as adjectives, nouns, pronouns, conjunctive statements. These are all missing in your ChatGPT based documents. So when you read an assignment which is submitted by a teacher or a student, when you don't find these keywords, like there is no noun, there is no conjunctive, there is no adjective, and there is no connecting statement, and there is also no full stops. You find only hyphens. In between, if you find a document with a hyphen, you can say that this is not written by you. You can challenge them also. Because using ChatGPT only, you get hyphens. You get plenty number of commas. Because in our human writing from the child age, we were never taught to use commas. Unless or otherwise you join BA literature or MA literature, until then we are all together in the same country. So this is one instigation where you can identify that this document is not written by you. Number one. Number two, the language that they write, the teacher has to identify इसका इतना उम्र में ये language होगा नहीं होगा. That has to be identified. Number three, very important, you should not throw it, you should not shout, you should positively ask him to read and write it. Simply say that this has to be rewritten by you. Because वहाँ पे the psychological and pedagogical layer of teachers should come there. It is not like identifying the error and then shouting at the child. If you shout, we know the implications. Because children are more sounded with recommendation today, not only AI. We always say that AI is used because it gives more recommendation. But children are also having more recommendations. So in that case, these are some of the key points that I would like to emphasize. Now I will jump into the concept that I have made that needs some of the eye opener for us to understand. Normally, when we talk about AI, any session should be planned with 50 to 60% of theory and 40% should be based on the practical. But for you, I'm not planning for any practical because you are also on the same path. Practical is required unless or otherwise you are a computer science based or you want to have a coding based background, then you can go for the practicals. Otherwise, it's all open in the market, you can understand. So keeping this, I'm only having it as a theoretical where it will focus only for the responsibility and ethical way of using AI. So that is the focus here. So recently we had a meeting with the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Electronics. As most of you know that there are two new newses that I can give you if you're not aware of it. One is that 500 crores of amount has been given for AI incorporation and into the entire country by the Ministry of Education, and IIT Chennai and IIT Jammu are the key players in AI for the country today. And keeping that India AI in another platform along with Vadvani Group, the 500 crore which was sanctioned has to be now established where all the states will also have their own AI center of excellence. Maybe normally SCRTs will be playing their key role when the education system comes there, and diets will also be part of it because NCRT is also part of it. Number one. Number two is that last week you would have even read the newspaper where Honorable Minister has said that from class 3 we are focusing AI because we are comparing with China and Singapore. So keeping that as a base that we can slowly start incorporating AI into our own architecture or curriculum or whatever you say. So that planning is going on. But however, we are not going to directly start with AI because AI needs some basic ethics. Like we will only focus on critical thinking, problem solving, and always to have the idea about keeping the hearts based learning methodology. And these are all the emphasis that has been happening. But you also should understand the slide here, which focuses three core areas here. Because life is a race, whether you are a teacher or any corporate person or a student. Every level of life we have a race. So you have to think how much run you have to be running. And another point which he as a technological evangelist, I should say you that whether you say that I am using AI or I don't like AI, I don't want to use AI, still you are using it. Nobody is asking permission from you. You already granted permission through the Google. So where the meta is already sitting in your head. In all your WhatsApp, Meta has already taken up. Meta did not ask you permission. So whatever communications you are working on, it's already stored in your RAM. Only thing is that now we should always refine our WhatsApp. We should always work on creating new email IDs with respect to working with AI tools. Being a teacher educator, we should have one separate email ID which will not have any of our personal information or any of our official information. That email ID should be specifically used only for getting your tools evaluated. Because every day some new tool comes. When you go to the classroom, some teacher is using, some child is using, you get attracted, you want to practice it. See, when you come back, you normally use the same email ID which you use in your regular life, day to day life. That should not be done. If you do this, 100% your data is around the world. So there comes the problem. But without having these ideologies, we have taken up the statistic that is given by the UNESCO, where UNESCO is the international player, where they have done the plenty number of researches on AI throughout the country. And based on that, we have come to the conclusion that 90% of teachers around the world have started using AI. They do not know what is responsibility, they do not know what is their ethics behind it, and why should we use it, when should we use it, or when will we ask our students to use it. So that is one sensitive information. Number two, 50 countries are already implemented their AI policies because we are all educationalists, we stick around the word called as policies. Third, when we talk about the financial implication, which I have already said you that India has already given us 500 crores, and similarly all around the world now all the edutech companies are using the word AI. So if somebody talks to you, visits your office saying that AI is part of this, we want to implement this project, that project based on AI. First of all, please keep your eyes and ears wide open. Ask them what is AI, because you should understand we started using these computers from mathematics only for automation. Then we started using this same computing for solving, problem solving. Only for day to day problem solving के लिए we started using computing. First was automatize, second was your problem solving, third you want to have something which you call it as commercialism. These three were only three. And the fourth one was you want something to be already predefined, which you call it as intelligence. What is intelligence? When you type something, automatically the rest of them is filled by the system automatically. You want to have that, that was also done. So keeping all these things were already existing. Now people are many corporates, many companies, many small entrepreneurs come to you say that we have AI. So keeping this later in your mind, ask them what is AI. AI is also doing the same thing. AI is helping you for problem solving. AI is using its own automatization to give you the intelligence. AI is also giving you some of the storage devices connected. You ask a question, it will give a reply to you. In all these things are there. You should ask them what is AI, what is the level of LLM, who is going to store it, where it is going to store the data that is taken from you. For example, I have my own email ID. If I started using AI in my WhatsApp, my mobile phone, automatically I have my own data stolen by the LLMs. Now the problem is who is owning the LLM? What is LLM? Large learning models, which is very casually called as the storage of your own activities. Whatever you do, whatever you ask, it is all recorded. Normally, this used to happen in your operating system. When you feed a pen drive into the computer, automatically your computer records that at this time this pen drive was inserted. This is the name of the company, and this is the size of the file that was present in that. This record is already there in your computer. There's nothing new. But AI, what does it do? It takes the data from you, it sends it to its owner, saying that this PC has this name, these are the activities, this is been happening. So somebody is monitoring it. So my point is not to fear you out. My point is whenever you start using AI, create a specific Gmail account or any email account, practice your activities in the separate email so that you are not tracked by someone, which we call it as phishing in the cyber security modes. So the global trends, because we need to have this data as a teacher educator. So I have got these things for your understanding. The market growth, it is growing on, and everybody says that we have strong investment, we have more tools. So we need to be carefully available. Ask them whether it is required for us at this particular genuine. So that is an important one. Second is that adoption among students is so sensitive. We need to streamline them, or we need to guide the parents also. So that is another one. The usage of teachers. Every school should have a one separate pattern of discussion among yourselves in the teachers meeting so that you discuss what tool you are using. AI is not something like what you call it as tacit knowledge. Because normally we consider the knowledge as tacit knowledge. But teachers, however, however, are represented as explicit knowledge. Teachers will not keep their own information with them. It is just like giving a message to a lady, saying that don't send this message to anybody. Or you call a boy and say to him, 6th standard or 7th standard, you say that I give a message to him, I say don't send it or say to anybody. The next moment, another child will stand in front of you. Similarly, this gets spreaded out. So we need to spread these messages such that the sensitivity of using AI should come down. The teachers in the meeting has to outcome and say that I'm using this tool, I'm getting this benefit. If you want, I can give a demonstration. So this is how the exploration starts. It should not be in a tacit knowledge that I am a computer science teacher, I am a mathematics teacher, I belong to a science category, so I will not share my knowledge. If you don't share a knowledge, it's all what is the status everybody knows. Because again, I want to point out if a teacher explains to everybody, the entire world listens to him. Entire world listens to him. So keeping that the point, learning gains to be given to them then and there. That's what I was focusing on. But the last the challenge that we have to identify is that country wise, when we look into the status, still in India, all the teachers are afraid about the technology. Biometric attendance, no. Why should I have a biometric attendance? Assessment to be done through AI, no, I will not do it. And it is very sorry to say here at this venue, 7 to 11 percentage of teachers still are not able to touch the mouse. They simply say that the mouse is not listening to me. They keep the same mouse which is there in their houses. So in this tenure, how such types of schools will enable AI into their curriculum? This is another thing because we need to discuss plenty number of things because you should also have the same responsibility as we have. When you call these teachers to your SCRTs or diets, you must be facing the same problem. So in that case, I was just focusing upon to it. So we have to have a deeper view of what is this AI, why we want to use it. A simple uh, pictorial or what you call it, infographic that has been prepared. AI enables personalization because teachers have no time left out because they are the data collectors, they are the teachers, they are going to be the assessment evaluator, they are going to be the some other multi-dimensional work which is assigned to them. Then where is the time for them to work upon the personalization? One class of 45, it is easy for them to work. Multiple classes with different subject domains. How will they access it? So there needs the technology. So we need to emphasize personalization. Earlier, uh, we used to have the coaching classes through the CDs recorded by IIT Madras. It used to be available somewhere when we go around the market. Then we collect the CDs and then insert it. Only that content will be there. Apart from that, the PC cannot be used for any other purpose. because at that time we don't remember what is alt and tab. What is alt and tab? It switches one screen to another screen. That command came to us only after college, but now they are all using in the second standard, third standard. They know what is alt and tab. If you are sitting in front of them, they will be sitting with your own monitor. If you move out, alt tab, next screen comes there where YouTube movies are running. So keeping this, now we have to take it up. What is personalization? So here I would like to emphasize another thing also. Most of the teachers are tech savvy, preparing contents through e-contents. So most of the teachers are not posting important of their own sessions through social media. Only a few teachers are targeting. Why teachers are, whenever you have a time of 2 hours. Teaching is not new to you. You can take up your own session of a particular class, mathematics, science, even literature is demand. Even a boy from Telangana is struggling to write in Telugu. A boy from Tamil Nadu is still able not to write the complete Tamil language. So similarly, as a domain expert of that particular subject, you can put up your own videos. If that videos are good, you being a CRT, you have already access to the Diksha portal. Instead of writing saying that David Spinner was the father of some technology, you put your own name. Who's stopping it? That is another biggest claim that we Indians, भारत देश में जो भी टीचर्स है, बाहर जो देश वाले बुक्स है उसको प्रमोट करते हैं. पड़ोस में जो बुक लिखते हैं उनको बोलते हैं पता नहीं कहाँ से कॉपी पेस्ट कर लिया. Where did we copy paste? I know he would have used ChatGPT. This is the command we give. But our books are so popularized in other countries. When you go to Philippines, how many Tamil literature books are available in Philippines and Finland? All are written by Indians only. But those people are not getting recognized here. That is biggest challenge. Because we don't accept it or we don't share the information. That's what I'm saying, that unless you share the information, what you're working on, what you are doing, it's all going to be in the silos. So personalization will kill that. You do that, publicize with the students or the teachers, whatever the learners contacts you have, you get more scalability and also try to have multilingualism. Today we need not go to all the experts saying that earlier NCRT used to write to RI Mysore saying that I have this content which is given by Maharashtra, this content has to be translated into Marathi. So we used to write to RI Mysore or RI Bhopal saying that please translate and give it. Today we are not doing that. We have already done plenty number of practices for multilingualism. First, we gave the copies of some of the translation to the Bashini. Bashini is one of the translator that has been run by the Ministry of Electronics. So we had a review, then we got some percentage of value was there, so we didn't continue with them. Then again we had a MOU with Anuvadini, which is working with the AICTE. So there also we got around 60 to 90 percentage. Now again we visited IIT Madras for the Sarvam AI, where they are saying 99.9% it is okay. So similarly, when we get accuracy, we'll stick to them. We'll have a MOU and then API can be generated so that you need not move out of your box. Simply API through, you can convert all your contents into multilingual content. So you get your exploration. So AI should be used in that focus. And the shift which is already I'm talking about from a teacher centric into a learner centric, now it's a big deal for us to understand this. The reason is learner centric, now learner has plenty number of modules. स्वयं MOOCs आ गया, YouTube है, and then you have NCRT models, special models are coming out, and Geo is having its own platform now, and you have Khan Academy, and plenty number of other sources where the dependency on the teacher is coming down. But as a teacher, now we have to focus saying that those technologies, those tools are only assistive. They should be used as assistive because no teacher, physical presence, physical expressions of learning the content cannot be given by any AI. That has to be emphasized along with the children and the teacher educators also. So that's what I am telling you. Learner centric, but with human intervention. You use AI again with a human intervention, it has to be taken up. That is our point. And we need to always emphasize NEP 2020, where we always say that whatever we do, we say technology, we call it as techno pedagogy should be concentrated. And this is our being given in the platform of the Diksha portal. Again, I would like to touch on this concept because this is what most of you find out. Even you type in chat GPT, you type in Cloudy, you type in what you call as Lemma 4.5, whatever content generator, perplexity, you can type in any content, you will get only these three. Because these three are the domain for AI. Whether I type from this India, somebody types from UK, what is the focus of AI in education? Only these three will come. So, what is the first one? Personalized and adaptive learning. How many of you are aware of PAL? How many of you are using PAL or suggesting PAL? What do you do for PAL, man? Please sit down. Those contents are prepared by SART or some vendors? Mix it. Okay. So after you started using this PAL, what was the improvement in the learning? When you give a technology, we need to understand what is the impact of that also. But here I would like to emphasize that PAL doesn't need internet. But you can make a note because you are all reading plenty number of technologies. Some people even say that internet and other infrastructure. What is PAL? Personalized adaptive learning. It gives a content. It helps the child with a recommender system. If I have a internet, it will give me the recommender. For example, I'll take a chapter of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis comes in text NCERT textbooks, class 6, class 7, class 8, and class 9. So if I type photosynthesis in AI, what will happen? It will teach me about photosynthesis, where it will forget to tell me or note me that this section was from grade 6, this section was from grade 7, this is from grade 8, that will not be shown to you. All in a summative way, it will give entire content to the child. One side, if you look into it, is good. The child will learn all ethics in a single page. But the second is that we need to make them understand this age, this content is enough, and based on this, what are the other visualization that a child has to understand that has to be taught. That could be taught by only the physical teacher, not by the AI system. However, today's market says that PAL is not required for doesn't require any internet connectivity. PAL is now intercorporated with the Diksha portal, where now we are sending most of the recorded content through PM Vidya to the northeast and also to the Andaman as well as to Lakshadweep components. Number one. Number two, PAL promotes only the improvement of learning methodologies. If we don't find any improvement in the learning outcomes of the child, PAL is not recommended. PAL is only a supporting learning factor that we have to emphasize. And PAL should not be taken as a YouTube channel. PAL should not be taken as a Swayam MOOCs. PAL should not be taken up any other modulator. PAL means it focus on that particular grade, the content which is taken from the original textbook, maybe whatever state board syllabus out of 66 state board syllabus, any board grade should be there, and their learning outcomes along with the assessment has to be given into it. Then it is considered as the PAL. So we have to look into that particular objective. But when we talk about AI, when we say AI studies the child. When a child reads from this corner to this corner, the movement of eye is also recorded, which you call it as visual analyzer is also part of it. Who knows? After the chapter is open, within 2 seconds, some child says, "मैंने पढ़ लिया, I have read it." Who will judge it? Does a teacher have a time? But in PAL system that is there. From which line you start, your both the retinas focuses on that particular letter. As it moves, your visual analyzer code which is written behind the AI, it also starts moving into it. Even after two lines, if you jump to the last line and say I have read it, it will say no, it has to be done. Next page will not move out. So that is PAL where forced type of learning is there. Why we need to have a forced learning? We need to have a forced learning because today's, what do you call it? The observation of a human being post COVID has come to 17 seconds. 17 seconds. People sitting here are looking at me. I also know because I am also part of somewhere when I also attend some of the workshop. Only 17 seconds we are able to look at a person. After looking at, immediately our brain starts thinking about ये कहाँ से आया, which state he belongs to, what language, why is he wearing this coat, or something. अभी तो मेरा time है. If this time, if I would have there in my house, this would have gone. Memories constant. It's human nature. So these things that we get recorded based on our personalized adaptive learning. Number one. Number two. In multilingual, we need to keep this activity of equity and inclusion, which is missing now. When yesterday I had an interaction with the KVS headquarters because there are plenty number of projects going on in NCRT. You would have even visited Vidya Samiksha Kendra, which is there in the Nagpur. So when I was looking into the KVS dashboard where they brought some of the data of both the attendants and the teachers, and yesterday only I came to know that it is only 1288 number of schools in India of India. Earlier I thought it was around 15,000 schools, but now yesterday I got the original data where I could find out. I was targeting them with ask question like out of this 1288, how many are CWSN children in the schools? Can you give the data into it? So I was amazed to look into their dashboards to view it. They had kept that particular data in a silos. Yes, sir, nobody asked this report. I said, if somebody asks or not asked, keep this column entirely in the first. Then only we take the priority of it. What facilities we have given. For example, when you talk about CWSN, when we talk about equity and inclusion, NCIT has already given an app called as Process 2.0, which scales and levels up to understand the teacher whether the child is in a proper way or the child needs some of the assistive methodologies and technologies. So Process 1 was focusing only to study. It was only for a research purpose. But Process 2.0 is now integrated with NABH also, the medical board also. So once a teacher identifies saying that yes, some discrepancy is there in the learning point of the child, after the two levels of screening, the information goes to the local medical center and further it goes to the authority who issues the UDID cards. So that is a level now it has been improved. So we need to understand multilingual content should also focus upon CWs. So when you also conduct workshops, trainings to the teachers, forget about the 3% of their own participation. If you are good, conduct one specific workshop for them also in your calendar, in your PAB or in your own PACs, whatever programs you organize. One complete training program for them. So that will surely give you some fruit somewhere in the corner. Because without fruit there is no life, right? Without flower there is no life. So do something whenever you can do that will show how SCRTs are using NEP 2020, how they are equivalently par with equity and inclusiveness. So that is one point, and smart assessment and progress tracking is also there. Because as a teacher, I'll come to that point later on. We are not only teaching as a teacher, educator also. Teacher has plenty number of rules and roles. Teacher educator also has different pattern. Where administration is also another part of ACRT. ACRT and diets are having different. Recently, we had a meeting with Prachi Pandey madam, who is in charge of all diets. Most of the diets are also given center of excellence also, and some of the pipeline are working onto it. So In that case, we need to keep this rapport into it. All SCRT should focus on this particular core area, saying that NEP 2020 emphasizes should be there where these three should be the mantra. First is that we have to concentrate on digital pedagogy because most of the digital technologies are coming around, disruptive technologies are coming around. When you talk about disruptive technologies, AI is not only the source. Everybody is running behind AI. As an AI, only AI is available. Everybody has forgotten about blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain, when somebody talks about blockchain, immediately somebody remembers Bitcoin, somebody remembers about the cyber web, dark web. Yes, these terminologies should be focused somewhere saying that not only blockchain, you have cloud computing, you have other storage devices today available in the market. You should focus on cyber security emphasis is also. Cyber security is now given with a decent word called as cyber wellness. Cyber club is also there in most of the schools where already adult tinkering labs are also there. Instead of innovating new labs, what could be the other technologies that we have to focus to be given up? Another recent one is that the drone technology. Drone has now to be picked up, and another is robotics is forgotten by many people. So when you talk about disruptive technologies, or whenever you focus on AI, don't forget to use all these disruptive technologies, where at least the teacher should be aware of these things. Only ideology that you should have digital pedagogy should be applied to learn digital ethics, digital responsibility of using the devices. For example, drones cannot be used wherever the airports are there, wherever the police control operations are there, wherever the army base is there. There, drones are prohibited. But however, we can get permission and then we can use it. We should give hands on to the child. Number two is your AI literacy. That's I already said you that you need to emphasize the children what to use and where to use and how to use. So first of all, if you don't start using it, we cannot go and talk about it. The third is that any TF as a tech platform. For example, being SIT, I said if a company comes to you saying that I have a product. Day before yesterday, we had one company. Since I'm a technical background, I used to sit all the meetings. So in that case, one person came with the ideology like how to evaluate the micro teaching. So they had some softwares. A teacher is asked to take a lesson. After the lesson is conducted by the teacher, and then it is getting recorded and it is getting evaluated with some four phases. So it's just like after the teacher takes the video, he gets revised. In what level the parameter has to be raised, where your voice has to be raised, where the point has to be raised, where the videography has to be shown in this angle. So all these plenty number of suggestions are given, and after the suggestions are given, it gives some time for re-recording. Again, the teacher has to take the same session with the suggestions given by the system. After he has completed all this, then it gives a rating to him saying that yes, this content is prepared by him. Either SCRT, NCRT or Ministry of Education will provide a certificate saying that this content is prepared by so and so. He has been certified for this. The copy of that certificate will go to the school education of that particular state, and the copy will also come to NCRT and ACRT and diet also. So that an acknowledgement is being given because there are plenty of rules given by some of the states, like 50 hours of training program should be conducted for the technical specification alone. So in this case, they brought some of the tools, and we said this micro wherever B.Ed and M.Ed is there, they must be using this micro level teaching software, which is not used by NCRT or SCRTs. We change. What is the meaning is that such types of companies come to you, you directly tell them to approach the NETF platform, National Education Technology Forum. They have four phases of evaluation of any tool. So it is their work to evaluate. They will say, they will discuss about the funding, they will talk about the commissions for the ministry, they will talk about the free imbibe for them also. Then after everything, all the four phase levels of meetings is done, it will be posted in the particular website. So then it becomes as authorized. So any state they can go, they can say that it is approved by the NETF Ministry of Education. You can use it because all the policies are already defined. So no, nothing had to be done by the teacher educators, right? So here you can see the key aspects of NEP 2020. A simple flow diagram of in 2020 the launch was done by NEP 2020 and 2021 initial frameworks of AI was done in India, which I'm talking about our Bharat country alone. Because AI came in 1958. AI came in the year 1958 in the US. Now the person who has created AI is himself crying saying that don't use AI. Because the ideology that he thought would be used by the human brains, now it has crossed the limits. So that is the point. 2022 pilot study was done by our own country where some of the teachers selected by SEMCA, Commonwealth, UNESCO, UNICEF were even taken as a pilot study, and some of the regions of our country have been selected. So they said that yes, we can go ahead. And the 23, all the evaluation parametrics for AI was done, and the Ministry of Education is also working on defining the ethos of using AI. Maybe we'll get the policies completed by January or March. And 2024 full scale implementation, because we started speaking about AI from 2024 in our country. So that is a flow here. And most of us forget about the keyword called as e-content. We are all very flexible in using e-content, but we don't have the exact keywords behind e-content. The first is text-based content. When I talk about text-based, it should be only digital textbooks and lecture notes. Here, my dear friends, think that I have not written anything about scriptural writing. What you write in your notebook is not there. Because physical writing is still a boom to our country. Even AI is struggling to recognize one human being's writing. Because we are all just like AI only. You ask somebody to write 1 minute, 10 minutes, 4 lines, they will write it and give you. After 10 minutes, you ask them again, write some 4 lines, the handwriting will change. Similarly, ChatGPT, if you ask you a question, it will give you an answer. After again you repeat the same question, it will give you a different answer. So it is very uncertainty for us to understand the ethos. So still the research is going on. So in the context of textual, if anybody wants to do a research, please work on the handwriting based. The second is your visual content. Today we talk about only infographics. We have forgotten about the images today because it is a bad word today. If you say image, they say you are outdated. You say infographics, yeah, infographics. People ask you. So that is the, because we have to change our modularity here. AI powered tools, personalized learnings, and chatbots. Earlier chatbots were very happy. People used to have मेरे पास chatbot है. अभी देश में इतने सारे chatbot आ गए, अभी बोर हो गया. They're asking क्या क्या है उसमें. Chatbot could only fetch you two things. One is textual, and it is going to be vocal. Apart from that, nothing. And chatbot has only one negativity. The content should be given by you earlier to that particular system. What content you feed, the same thing will be replied. Because this is the only safer. Disclaimer डाल सकते हैं. You can put your own disclaimer saying that yes, this content belongs to me, I own it. Because the second type of chatbot which is coming out of the generative AI is not recommended. Or ChatGPT, the chatbot that is generated by ChatGPT is so dangerous. What is the difference between generative AI and what is and the chatbots? ChatGPT. Any answer?
ChatGPT also generating.
Okay, what is the difference? I asked you the difference. You are saying the similarity. GenAI when I use GenAI, what is the benefit? When I use ChatGPT, what is the benefit? Or what could be the difference of it?
Form of data into another form of data. Text into image, text into video, text into audio is generated.
Okay. Anything? Anything? Nice. Okay. Generative, the name itself gives you it's a historical data. For example, this is a classroom. I know this number of people are sitting into. If I want to ask a question, like how many ladies are sitting, how many males are sitting, what color dress they are putting up, in generic, how many of you are wearing pink color dress? These questions, if I ask, because I know this is bounded by a wall, and whatever parameters I want to ask, it is all known. The data set is known to me. Any question that comes around this people who are sitting here, or the TV is here, or any resources here, it is answered by me. It is called generative AI, which means I know what is there in the data. I'm going to ask a question which I already know. Only thing is that the insight will be changed. The way of asking question, the way of expecting the answer will only be different. This is called generative AI, which is secured also. Which is secured also. Because if you read the textbook, the question paper is made on the textbook, it is generative AI. Normally, this type is called as state board exams. Because state boards conduct exams based on only the textbook. However, to support the children, they also give PTM booklets. Parent Teacher Association booklets they used to give. Children are very smart, they won't read both, they will go for some third party vendor, they will buy it and read it. The beautiful example of ChatGPT is it is getting connected to the internet. It will collect the data, whatever you have, it will compare with the market and then give you a rough idea so that you cannot be so reliable. That is why I used to say, please don't depend upon both, but still you have your own opinion. You take an eye, for example, NCT, I had a meeting today because NCT is planning for some other renovation of their wave process. So they were asking me what could be the new technology because they are starting with the technological impact now only. So in that focus, they were asking some of the questions in the last meeting, and so we were working on it. So I also used some of the points together from the chat GPT because we get only 5 to 7 to 10 minutes to get the schedule. What is my schedule today? Sometimes they forget to send me the mail. They simply personally call me Rajesh Soda join kar. So what to be there? So I used to use these things to ask him what is there. So if you check that, it will give ample number of content. I cannot carry all the ample number of content. So I used to quickly run through some of the key points which could be closely related. Then 1 minute, 1 minute. At that tenure, kindly note, I am not using the website of NCTE. If I use NCTE, what will happen? I will get the answer which is equivalent to generative AI. If I get the answer from ChatGPT, it means I am getting linked with the internet where it gets cross combinational outputs. Where I need to sit down and I have to read the paragraphs specifically to understand which is reliable, not reliable, then only I can go ahead. So certain effort has to be taken by us. Because we are not reliable. There was another example before I come to you, sir. 1 minute. There was one case of evaluation in one of the JE mains. I think 2019 or 17. This case happened. JE published their result, and one child filed a case saying that this is the answer which is was given in the NCRT textbook. Then they asked which year. He said to 2018. I read this content from NCRT textbook which was published in 2018. Then the case went to CBSE for defending, and finally it came to NCRT, and NCRT said that yes, this content was available in 2018. However, he has written the examination in 2021 or 2022. The syllabus is revised. The textbook is also revised. So where is the fault? Now there is a big tug of war between CBSE and NCRT, where even the court is also there standing that kuch to banao, kuch to de do. We have to because the boy is not also accepting the mark. Judge is saying that no, we will give you mark, don't worry. He said, I don't want this mark, I want only the correct answer. So there was a war. So what could be the solution? We are also using AI, we are also human beings. So finally one solution was that in JE, whenever the notification comes, they give only the syllabus. They don't give any reference materials. If the problem would have arisen when we would have given the syllabus along with the reference material, then we would have been caught. Then AI suggested this is the answer. Yes, we all took it. Then legally it went against the boy again, saying that when syllabus is prescribed, they didn't say NCRT or anything else. They simply said that this is the syllabus. So keeping that keyword, we escaped from the case. So how much sensitive we are. So that is the focus that you people has to have. Sir, please.
Nice listening to you.
Sir, one more doubt. You told that a lot of funds have been placed for AI in our country. What are the benefits that we attain at our diet level or our students from that?
Nice question, sir. But the only answer is that now it has been initiated. Earlier, if this decision would have come before the PAB meetings of your own states, which normally happens in Ministry of Education, if this would have come before, you would have allotted this amount in the Samagra Shiksha itself. But since now, after the Samagra Shiksha, जो PAB आपका states का meetings हो गया, now there was a pressure from Prime Minister also, so that we need to do something for AI immediately. This 500 crores has been given, allocated, not for any specific body, for a common for Ministry of Education. Now they have started using AI Center of Excellence for all the states. We will get that information, state nodal officers, where they want to initiate, what could be their core work. All relative works are happening out. When entirely it gets completed, maybe next year onwards, specific fund will be given in the some other section. So this is the planning stage. This year we are going for financial implication. Last year I would have shown you the gap also. Last year we had only full scale theoretical implementation come. But this year we have India AI Corporation, we have Vadwani Group Corporation. These are all core bodies which is working on AI development in our country alone. Apart from this, I said you that in the month of January, Ministry of Education will be having one national level teacher training program for 2 days throughout the country. In parallel, some separate advertisement will come for all the states, which will be inclusive of SCRTs and diets. I hope so. Apart from this, there is another program conducted by Ministry of Electronics in the month of February through some of the competitions. So that is also rolled out, but the advertisement is already there in the internet. I think so for the hackathon and other smart writing by the teachers. Policies are also on the way. However, for your information, I would like to even say that 2024 February itself, the AI policies for our country is being defined by NETF and it is submitted for review. However, very shortly, our Prime Minister will be launching it out. These are some of the information.
Using AI in maximum length causes detrimental effect in pedagogy of the students. They lose their independent thinking and as you said,
We are also presenting the same view of yours. But technically, if you want me to answer it, that the answer that they gave me is that we are using the word AI, but we are not really focusing on AI. AI has some basic platforms that has to be incorporated. Like initially, like we started using computers. Like first day, what are the menus, icons. Second day, they'll be teaching you how to hold the mouse. Third, they'll be teaching you how to work on paintbrush. How do you type in word processor? The same pattern will be followed. However, one name is given to them. Additionally, one small use cases can be given to them because driverless vehicle has come now, which is now rolled out. Auto is now released, and Tesla will come later. But still, there is something going around in the children's mind that Tesla has launched this. Everybody knows Elon Musk's name rather than their father's name. This is truly found out. एवरी चाइल्ड इवन जो बच्चे इधर रास्ते में घूमते हैं उनको भी बोले इलॉन मस्क पता है, तो पता है. So that much of AI impact is there. So we should not say that AI should not be there. AI will be there. Slowly, it is just like pinching. We will insert to them. And the most important point is that corporate sectors are so hungry. They have launched their own textbooks where there is no curriculum of format. There is no SCRT involved. There is no diet involved. There is no NCRT involved. But however, now we have prepared our own curriculum. As part of the AISL, I have prepared my own curriculum for the NCRT that has been given for validation, and we are also having MOUs frequently. IIT Madras, IIT Jammu, and yesterday I had a meeting with Google. Day before yesterday, Microsoft. Some companies are coming up to share their expertise. So we should have there the techno pedagogy that is planned properly, and hope we will be rolling out shortly. But as far as the Ministry of Education, before March, we should be completing the curriculum and we should be releasing it. Hope we will take some of your support also as per the committee that is being formed. So before I rush up, we have to see what are these platforms pending out. I also heard that for assessment, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh is using some of the AI tools. I don't know how much because I have to go and check that. Because when they came here, they were presenting me saying that yes, our state has started using AI and they are incorporating AI for evaluation. Earlier, when we talk about smart computing, we used to frame only questions based on MCQs. Using MCQs, we can identify and then use the junk point so that if the particular grade is not highlighted, you can take a snap so that it will grade it. But now we have to check with subjective learning or formal learning where you write some of the definitions and then we find out the keywords pattern to be studied and then scoring will also be dependent on AI. So we are working on to it. So we'll focus on, we'll see what is there. Multimedia, audio, video, and educational materials, which is also known to you, and interactive content. What is the difference between interactive content? Interactive always talks about simulations. So please note that, and collaborative tools, which can be done through CMS, content management system, and learning management system. This is another one which I would like to you to focus on whenever somebody talks about AI. You have to think about sharing the AI literacy. Sharing the AI literacy, like responsibility and the ethics, both are there, which is compulsory because we say n number of times the child is not listening because earlier when we were small, if you don't listen to a parent, they'll beat us. Today, beating is not happening even in the houses. Children are so sensitive. After looking into all these mafia TV channels with the newsletter, 7th standard got jumped here, 10th standard ran away here. So all these news make the parents tight and keeping that one genuine. Earlier, if the child doesn't listen to the parent will come and inform the teacher. Teacher will scold, but now teacher are so afraid. Now it is reverse engineering. Neither parents are now having the grip, neither teachers are having the grip because technology has taken up. Now we have to think about imparting AI for torturing them. That is the only action that we have to. So, as far as our role of teacher, we will be focusing on AI literacy. And another biggest point is that ask them to do the coding, learn the coding because we made them lazy. No code, low code. That is another biggest problem. Everything is cooked up. It is just like life is like a menu card for them today. Your cooking is not good. What to do? I'll put it in Swiggy. Even they are putting ratings in the Swiggy. Your food is not good. So in that case, we have to teach them how to write the code. Basic programming ethics should be involved in all the curriculum. If you are writing your curriculum for your state, my dear friends, I would request you to have a basic knowledge of coding rather than working with only automation softwares like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. The life is not ending there. We should at least have to learn what is logics. If you don't have logic, there is no problem solving in the life. We have to preach them through our curriculum. Data science, the new name due to the statistics. However, we have given statistics from class 4 onwards. Still, mean medium mode. Even after coming to MTech, PhD, we still struggle. We need to focus on to that and motivation of innovation and entrepreneurship because today India has grown a lot because now in our country we have 57 entrepreneurships run by small children under 12, under age 12. They have running most of the companies. So in that case, we need to have more innovation and whenever you come to Delhi for your personal trip, bring your family, make them to visit president's house to visit the museums because really you can see the AI impact there. The child can talk with your ex prime ministers and presidents. It is an AI built system. It's just like real. You have to make them emphasize to observe where you are today. So that emphasize you can plan. It's your personal. And for teachers, if you don't have these four in your curriculum, if you don't emphasize any BEd student to have these four curriculum, their future will be a big question mark. The first is that everybody should have your own e-content. Everybody should have minimum teacher should have at least two languages. One is the local language, another is your different language that should not be English or Hindi. As well, we have to practice so that survivability is another biggest problem for us. because we are really in the market. So that is another biggest one. And professional learning, which I always say that have always a group of same subject teachers. Whenever we see groups, it's all combination. One English teacher, two maths teachers, or one science teacher, one physics teacher, or something randomly it will be there. First, we should collate together to have the same subject experts together. If I write a content, yeah, I have written this content, kindly revise and tell me, or give me some of the critics. Acceptance to the critics is a big deal for a teacher and a student. Nobody accepts the critics. We immediately change our mindset saying that हमारा emotional intelligence बोलते हैं कि this teacher is always shouting at me. This teacher doesn't give me the review properly. So that you neglect, you learn what is the positive that we can learn each other. So if you build that acceptance of critics and give the acknowledgement to all the reviewers, whatever the content that you prepare. If you have 45 in your group, give acknowledgement to all the 45. So that type of professional learning is needed this time because this is not only learning textbooks, it is not only preparing the curriculum, it is also learning how to handle the students or the teachers who is using technology today. Earlier, we used to keep the mobile phone before going to any lab. First of all, it is not allowed. Even if you bring, you put it in a bag, keep it outside. Today, all the cameras are very short. You do not know who is using what camera. Sensitive is there. So we need to understand if some problem is stuck, put it in your group. I am facing this problem in my classroom. What could be done? I say you have to promote that. And the last one is your analytical support or analytic support. How many teachers trained? What is their observation? What could be further done? Content was revised at what time? Who was part of that committee? Never ever create a same committee for all the projects. Forget about your known friendship relationships there. Always try to slowly modulate the committee that you prepare for your curriculum and also for your textbook writing. Give importance to the talent, including the talent. Always try to rotate new people into your team. That will fix. It's not like neglection of old people or old committee members. It's the importance of getting new critics into it. So it's just like mildly modulating our own views, there, right? Refining of our content. So another five-stage learning spectrum using AI. This is normal learning methodology only, but still, this slide was prepared for the teachers who are still struggling to understand the technology. Recently, there was one video that was circulated, which really felt bad. One teacher was sitting in the classroom. One boy comes and asks for a mobile phone. Sir, I have to call my father. He gave the phone to him. In order to support the child, he gave the mobile phone. That fellow took the mobile phone outside, did something, came back and gave them. After 15 days, he was arrested, saying that using your mobile phone, this transaction has happened. The badness about is that the teacher did not recognize it, the teacher did not know it. Where as per the IT policy 2020, we need to have more emphasis of understanding each other. Today the problem is of friendship only today. Today the problem is because of unknownness. When you are sitting in a train, when you are traveling in a train, you see to that your camera is not facing anybody. Earlier, IT Act 2020 said that if you keep your camera like this, and if a lady is sitting in there, she has a full right to claim you out. For that, you will lose your responsibility. Nowadays, it is male or female, both are sensitive today. Even ladies are now vigilant today, and male is so vigilant today. Both ways, we have to be so careful in using all our technological devices. Earlier, we used to depend upon internet, but now today we used to depend upon IT Act. Sensitiveness behind the IT Act should be there, and it should be emphasized. Whenever somebody visits your office, they are all very open-hearted. Immediately, we used to give, oh, Wi-Fi ka password दे दो. What is the reality of using the Wi-Fi password? For what purpose they are using the internet? 9 to 5, the training is over. After that, what the teacher does? Nobody tracks it. It's a sample, I'm telling you. It's not clear. So where the sensitive is there. So we need to understand, we should have these analytics within ourselves. So coming to the point of learning, this is already known to you. Any new technology comes, first is that we have to think about our convenience. Fix your own timings. Teachers and teacher educators never have time, because I am also a teacher educator today. We don't have time, but still we need to have our own convenience time to accept something. Number two, we should start exploring. If I don't explore, I could not stand in front of you today. Every day I am analyzing three tools, because every day some tools are coming to the market. I get some call from out the country. Some teacher calls me, says, "A tool should I use or not? What is the pros and cons?" I say them, if it is a new, I used to say them, please give me some 5 days. I'll update. So I have to sit down, or I have some 4 or 5 people there. I used to give them this task. We used to come with the pros and cons. Then if it is so really impressive, then I used to start sitting working on to it. So likewise, you can also ask your children. If you are impressed of something, you go and ask in your classroom. The children will give you the exact answer. There are n number of devices. So exploration starts in the second point. The third is that analysis. Fourth is that you start using. Don't get addicted. My simple example is that don't get addicted. When you have your convenience, when you started exploring, when you did the analysis, when you started using the application, please don't get addicted. The problem of human being is getting addicted. One person gives you 100 rupees, your mind says that every day you go and ask him 100 rupees. And even after giving back, you will scold you. The last is that you become the master of that particular tool. So these are some of the advanced tools that I would recommend, because I have worked on these things. These are all very nice. I am not popularizing it, my dear friends. Again, I am telling this is not commercial. These are a few suggestions from our end. So when you talk about text, use ChatGPT and Perspective AI. Perspective AI is just like it gives you the references also along with your usage. But whereas ChatGPT is internet connected, it is your sole responsible to filter the content whatever you want to. Number one. Number two, when you are working with images, we call it as visuals. Hence, it is called as Canva AI. If you are a good teacher, today you have to have a certification of Canva. My dear friend, suggest this. I am not promoting Canva. I am saying that if you have Canva, you have plenty number of attitudinal works. You can do n number of works based on it. So videos, pictory, animatory, and synthesia. These are some of the names of the tools. And for quizzes, you can see these are all famous from COVID
Can we
onwards.
get any concession for the education purposes? Canva?
Sir, you are a teacher. You write to them. I am a teacher from this state. I want a free keyword for that. I can expand to my children. You write a simple mail. You will get all free. Microsoft Education is giving free. Google for Education is giving free. Nobody writes. We used to buy 365.
You are not using Pro. You are using Canva, but
Sir, for study purpose also you can write it. There is no harm into it.
360 Pro also we can write.
Everything is free for teachers. You have a label called teacher. Only thing is that they will ask you sometimes, show me your ID card. You scan your photograph and then send to them. It is between you and them. You get all things free. Audio, morph audio, and then natural. There are n number of. I have only given only simple. This is another thing that we have to understand as a teacher and teacher training. Whenever we talk about content generation, these are the things that we need to have. We need to talk about notes. We need to talk about worksheets. We need to talk about quizzes. When we talk about content enhancement, content enhancement, we need to talk about infographic video. So if you don't have a infographic video, then automatically the learner will divert his motive. So these are all some of the information. Like when you talk about adaptive learning, you can use this difficulty adjustment, because today we have one app developed by IIT Bombay which is called as Tara, which talks about the language learning models. It means that you give a paragraph, you ask the child to read it louder, the voice gets recorded, and it gives you the suggestion that here this A should be a. What you talk about, the phonetics comes there, and then it searches out and it gets boomed out, so that the child, it's not one time, it asks the child to read 3 times, so that the data gets recorded and AI generates the output, and then the what do you call it as the assessment of the teacher is also done by them, where the load of the a literature teacher or English teacher comes down. This is now used in the universities also. So similarly, for the school education, IIT Bombay in collaboration with NCRT and Ministry of Education, this app has been developed, and it is not only for the English and Hindi language; it is also available in all the 23 languages. So through your state government, this project can also be initiated. However, I am the coordinator, and then you can push your request through that, because now I think they have done this for Maharashtra, and now Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. For them, the app has been further enhanced. Accessibility, this is another biggest one. So most of your SCIT websites, you see to that all are having TTS transcripts and inclusive training, and whatever content you are focusing upon, see to that these are made enabled. So we need to emphasize saying that most of us read this in all the papers also, 30 to 40% preparation time. But my dear friends, since you are again from SCRT diets, don't ask your teachers or students or B.Ed college students, don't use AI for preparing their lesson plans. You kill them saying that don't use AI for lesson plan. Lesson plan is the human intervention where logics and pedagogy should come into it. This emphasis should be given there. Even in your SRTs, put a notice board. Lesson plan should not be generated using AI. If it is not, because when evaluation comes upon, you are the guru. You have to identify and say that this should not be focused upon. So this 30 to 40% कहाँ पे use करना है when a teacher gets more than 3 periods per day. उनका भी energy है, efficiency है, preparation है. Then the battery comes down. We have to then advise them. At that time, you use AI to how to manage this classroom, because we are not the pedagogy how that teacher was taking this classroom. So the children may be a cosmopolitan, new. So how to handle them? I have been given this class for this minute. This is a 40 minutes. What type of work could I, activity could I plan for it? This child has a CWSN also. How could I plan for it? For such types of purposes, AI should be used by the teacher. So this you have to emphasize to the lower level. Focusing on mentoring and routine work. This is normally done. Prototype drafts only for idea purpose. Again, I do say. And the important is that rural versus urban. Now rural is so costly. Earlier villages used to be very very soft, but now the aggressiveness is only from rural. The children from the rural are so different pedagogy में उनके लिए हम पता नहीं कौन सा फिर से ब्लूम्स टेक्नोलॉजी लेके आएंगे एआई लेके आएंगे पता नहीं. Really, when I went to some of the schools, I should salute the teachers only. How to handle this? Coming into sitting in a bench properly. I don't know what AI will teach them. And all having smartphones into that. Plenty number of policies are designed. Teachers are trained. Teacher trainers are being given feedback. Still, when you go to the ground level to see that the behavioral ethics of the student, we need to concentrate on that. Ensure equity, which I said you already. And these are some of the glimpses. I'm not going to run into it. I have spoken about mostly here. AI can revolutionize educational curriculum design. When you talk about curriculum or design, you have to keep these three. Personalized learning experiences should be there. Efficient and creative content creation should be there. And data-driven continuous should also be done it. So if you feed this data, it's easy for us to evaluate what type of content we are going to give it to it. As we normally do it in NCRT, the same thing ethics should be followed out, right? I'm not going to further touch it. You read this in the later part. I will give the slide for you also. Now, as a teacher, how do you define the automation of administrative tasks? Automatize your logistical, administrative, which you call it as scheduling and grading and reporting. This should also focus on the instructional design and student information. And coming up to the adaptive curriculum, because we define curriculum, we do pilot study, we train the teacher, we roll out the answer. But the problem is that after doing this, when you go to the ground level, if the child is not coming there or sitting properly in the classroom, how to deliver the lecture? That becomes a big cost. So we need to approach them through plenty number of methodologies. That is the only try as a teacher we can do. And we can also use attractive technologies to attract them, so that they, because most of the schools are having today smart boards. Earlier it was only for the private schools, but however now it has been come out, right? Most of the government sector is also having, government and government aided are also having their own smart system, so that we make the adaptive curriculum easier for us to understand. The third is known to you, and the fourth is also known to you. I'm not going to touch further. Ah, this has to be done as a SCRT and diet. These are all specifically for you. How do you evaluate the success of AI integration in any project? Any project. So first is your student performance and learning outcomes. You have to study them. First, you have to take it as a pilot study. So normally we used to have only three categories of children, which normally we used to say that hybrid children and the middle learners and the slow learners. So we never use these technological interventions with the second and third category. Please don't do this. You say that the curriculum that you take for your analysis should only focus on hybrid learners so that you get more outcomes from it. Never touch the middle or the low level because they are all struggling. Once you give it, they'll quickly adopt it. Adoption is not a big problem for that child, but once they adopt it, they will forget the teacher. They will forget about how to learn logic or problem solving in their own life. So the second is engagement and interaction is so important. Retention and completion rates. The third is so important, which I already said. From 17 minutes, now it has come to 17 seconds. This is the reality. You see in your house also, your son or what do you call your daughter, they will not sit in a seat for more than 5 minutes. Earlier, you used to call that child as a hybrid child, but today all children are same. That is why even though in the buses in Delhi, you see most of the boys stand there only, or girls stand only. Kursi hai, baith ja, because they have the habit of even dancing, whatever they want, they are all doing. So the retention and completion rate is come down. Gate examination, you see, most of the gate and what you call this need, the person who is getting negative remarks also getting admission to. Problem here, retention nahi hai, and they have to fill the seats also. Keep this in mind. Teacher feedback and classroom observations are so focused. If you don't look at each other, whomsoever, these are all in your teaching practice. I am not going to touch it. Infrastructure and accessibility. Still, it is a boom for our country because most of the states doesn't have ICT infrastructure. Still a boom. Even if it is there,
Sir,
5 minutes or 10 minutes.
sir, 2 minutes.
2 minutes है सर बाकी मैं काम पिक्चर लगाऊँ
Sir, next resource person.
हाँ 5 minutes. I hope I'm not boring. Since it is a morning lecture, fully I have to finish it out because infrastructure and activity now also even in the urban area, ICT is still a boom where some of the practicals are scheduled for three schools into a single school. The children are brought to the school and then did the practical. So that is happening. In that case, then I said that don't do that. Get a remote connection to the particular school. Movement of the children can be coming down. Technology intervention should be spoken about. So we need to understand that ethical, which I have already spoken about, and alignment is also there. So apart from this, these are the best practices for any teacher to handle on with the particular AI integration in their practices. Align AI with educational goals. किस पर्पस के लिए आप यूज करना चाहते हैं उसका डेफिनेशन आप स्ट्रांग रखो. Number two, balance AI with critical thinking. You have to enforce all the teachers to have ethics and responsible and leverage AI for the personalized adaptive learning. Right. So these are some of the points that I have given it. You can go through this, but apart from this, these are all the student based priority where AI can be focused upon, like student data privacy. You should think about the bias mitigation and fairness. Normally physical nature mein it was there, but now digital era, once you code it's fixed, and for generation it will be seeing the same category that we need to have. Transparency and accountability ka we have to focus upon. When bias is removed, automatically transparency will be there. Maintenance of the autonomy of an educator should be there, and ethical use and inclusiveness. But last important point is that continuous ethical training and policy development should be concentrated upon. So before I close up, I should just appraise about this prompting. So normally we talk about prompts. What is a prompt? A prompt is instruction or a question raised by us. So whenever we talk about AI is fully dependent upon the prompt. If you don't have how to use a prompt, what is a prompt? Then entire AI you cannot touch it. Otherwise, you have to look at others what they are doing. So there are three categories of AI questioning methodology. The first is a basic. We simply ask create a quest for photosynthesis. Yes, it will give the answer. Number two, 10 MCQs they do. Third, which is called as the advanced methodology, you call it 10 MCQs on grade 7 from the Bloom's taxonomy. In that also you are very specifically telling you that two recall questions and three application based and three hard. So this is how you define any of your prompt. So these are all generic, which we call it as good quality of development. But keeping the question, the AI that you are using will define who you are, what level of user you are, right? So what are the golden rules for prompting? First, be specific. Number two, give context. Number three, give define your output format. Number four, go for refine iteratively. You ask the question plenty number of times or give us slight modulation. Normally we ask what is your name. If you ask what is your name to your chat GPT, it will give its own name. What? It will give its version. No, it won't give its version. So you ask this question and check what is the answer. And whatever you do, please always review it. That is the important point. And whenever you talk about prompting, remember these four keywords. Rise. So what is the role? Second, what is the instruction? Third is what is your specification, and fourth is your evaluation. So how do you combine this? Rise. Last example for you. You are a grade 6 teacher, which means you are defining your role. Number two, create a 40-minute lesson plan for on water cycle. This is your instruction. Number three, specificity. What is that? Objective, example, activity, quiz, and homework. These are all specificity. What evaluation patrick you are giving? It should be only NCRT aligned. We normally forget this. So this is what your information. These are all some of the use cases that I'm not going to disturb. And additional tools which I have given for your information. The PPT I am leaving it for you. And this is another thing which we have already spoken, but still you make a note of the challenges because digital divide is still far. An important point is that over dependence. Once you start using, you think of adapting it as a prime. So that should not be done. So most of the classrooms are this adaptive learning dashboards are coming because in the near future, as soon as the teacher goes inside, the system will tell her last 15 days this is your syllabus covered. You didn't come on this day, and you are on leave on this day, and entire आपको जो कुंडली है वो सामने आ जाएगा. So we need to understand the real-time language translation because if a child from north goes to south, south goes to north, the smart board will automatically adjust based on the tutoring methodology. And homeworks are given, virtual science labs is also there, and always think about VSKs. If you have not visited your state VSKs, please visit your state VSKs. So as far as India is concerned, which I said you, India AI and Niti Aayog are closely working on the policies of all the AI related activities. NCRT is also working on these things like Diksha, E-Pachala, PM Vidya, teacher capacity building workshops, right? Key takeaways finally, always AI is only a tool, not a replacement. Number two, use prompting properly. Number three, always do experiments in your classroom so that the child gets activated. हमारा teacher कुछ तो कर रहा है. Otherwise, if you are silent, it will also be inactive. Fourth is that if you have good creativity, then it comes into the efficiency and engagement. This is the latest one launched by the ChatGPT company, which says that these are the prompts that could be very better used by all of us. So this is also being given to you. And finally, last my slide. NEP always focuses in that keeping your knowledge as a prime. And at least if you don't have the word in your mind like start, nothing will be there. So we need to work on try and try. There is no other keyword. With this, I thank you and wish you all the best.